Hi everyone, this is Dan Mumm with Huntington & Ellis here with your weekly market update for the Vegas real estate market. Very exciting and interesting news this week. We got the numbers for the month of September that were just released. We actually saw a price increase, which was very unexpected. The median sales price went back up from $410 to $415. Not a huge jump, but most people were, based on what they're hearing in the news, expecting these big precipitous drops, and they actually went up. The average price went up slightly. The amount of inventory also came down slightly from 3.3 months of inventory to 3.2 months of inventory. Now, the general trend basically is still down, but to see this mild jump and increase in the last month was very interesting and unexpected. This is why we always advocate that our clients look at the numbers and the facts rather than listening to the news, because there is a lot of hype and hyperbole out there. One interesting thing I wanted to discuss with you this week is the idea of being upstuck. Upstuck is a term that poker players use. Let's say you were sitting down at a table. Let's say you made about $5,000 playing a few hands, and then you lost $2,000. You would still be up $3,000, but you would feel like you were losing because recently you just lost $2,000, and at one point you were up $5,000. So even though you were still up $3,000 from when you sat down, you feel like you're losing. This is a very common sentiment and psychology that we're seeing with sellers now, where they're upstuck. For example, the prices today, the closed prices today as of October 2022, the current sales prices, not list prices, but sales prices, are still 30% above what they were 2 years ago and 50% what they were 3 years ago. So as an example, this might be a helpful way of thinking about it. If I told you 3 years ago that your property would be worth 50% more, that's 50% growth in 3 years. Would you be happy with it, or would you be disappointed? Most sellers, of course, would be very, very happy and excited about that. The problem is they're seeing what happened a few months ago and they're upstuck. They're unable to adjust off of the reality that the market isn't what it was a few months ago. But overall, it's still so much higher than it was just 2 years ago. So a lot of sellers are making decisions about whether they want to sell or rent a property out because of the fact that they weren't able to get what they were a few months ago. But really, with regard to their long-term plan, it might not really make sense to do that because of the fact that we're still at such high pricing than what you would have seen in the last few years. It's just an interesting thing to think about and for you to consider. Hopefully that information is helpful for you, and I will talk to you next week.